So you're thinking about moving to Colorado Springs and you want to know how much it costs to live here. That's what we're going to be covering today with the cost of living of Colorado Springs, and we're getting to it right now. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Clay.
We're the Martin brothers. We're doing these videos every single week about what it's like to live, work, and play in and around Colorado Springs. So be sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the notifications bell so that you're notified whenever we drop a new video.
Check it out, guys. We get calls, texts, emails every single day from people all over the world wanting to buy and relocate to Colorado Springs, Colorado. So feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or even come knock on mine or Jacob's door, because we are more than happy to help you guys any and every way we can.
All right, guys, so we're going to be covering the cost of living of Colorado Springs. And this is some research that we've done to provide to you to give you the best idea of what it's going to cost you at the end of the day if you were to move out here and actually live here. So some of this is like information that we're comparing to national averages. Some of it's our personal experience, like what our personal utility costs are, etc.
Or a date night.
Yeah, or date night, which he really doesn't have any because he's married.
I still like to have fun.
So ultimately, Colorado Springs is more expensive to live than the national average. We're about 4% higher as of the end of last year, about 4% higher than the national average. But a big driver of that is going to be real estate, which we'll be getting into later on. Obviously, it costs a lot more to purchase real estate in Colorado and Colorado Springs because it's freaking amazing. We've got so much to do here, so many outdoor activities, so it makes a big difference. But that's going to be the biggest driver that pushes us up slightly over the national average.
All right, so the big question is, what does it cost to live here, right? And that starts with your housing needs. You have probably always heard it's better to buy than it is to rent, just because you're paying somebody else's mortgage and stuff. But what's important to keep in mind right now is rent costs are just as high or higher than the cost is for a monthly mortgage payment. Okay, so for a one-bedroom apartment last year, it was just almost $1,400 a month for a one-bedroom apartment, and it was closer to $1,800, $1,795 to be exact, for the average single-family cost of a rental, and that was taken in the fourth quarter of last year. So we're looking at almost $1,800 for a single-family rental, and that's the average across the board.
So keep that in mind, right? Is that something that you're going to be comfortable coming out here and locking into a 12-month lease and paying that amount of money for that period of time? That's a lot of money going to someone else. Maybe purchasing is, the right avenue for you. And getting into purchasing, we're going to be talking about what it costs to buy a place here, right? So 2020, the average cost of a single family home was just over $414,000. So that was the average for the entire year of 2020, and I promise you it's going to be higher this year. So median sales price for 2020 was $370,000. So you got the median sales price of $370,000 compared to the average sales price of just over $414,000. That's the biggest reason why our cost of living is slightly higher than the national average. Real estate is the biggest driver of that. So Tatiana Bailey, who is, I believe, the director of the economics department at University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, just stated at the end of 2020 that the biggest reason for that increase in housing costs is the fact that we have so many people wanting to move here, right? We've got people that are in big cities that, especially with COVID, have realized, oh wait, I don't want to be here. So they decide they want to start looking at places like Colorado Springs. And then also Denver is so much more expensive than Colorado Springs that we're seeing a lot of people that are from Denver or living in Denver decide to move to Colorado Springs, right? And so much demand on the market with low inventory has caused those real estate prices to really skyrocket. But that's kind of what you can expect, and I think that we're going to see that continuing through 2021 as well.
So a lot of folks, after you get the house portion of it buckled down, what's it cost on a month-to-month basis to keep the house up and operating? Jacob and we're going to give you a little bit of a personal experience because his house is in a different part of town. It's much bigger than my house, and it reflects in our utility bills when it comes to electric, gas, water, sewer, all that good stuff. Do you want to tell them a little bit about your house based on your square footage?
So we really couldn't find anything online that was like a true average of expected utility costs in Colorado Springs. So we just did our own. So in 2020, my average utility cost was $240 a month, right?
And what is that?
So that's going to be covering the electricity, gas, water, wastewater, and yeah, that's it. So $240 there. Keep in mind that we are in Colorado, and if you do have a lawn, you will have to water it. Although I did have someone recently that got very upset with me that I posted a video mentioning that she didn't want me to tell people to water their lawn. But nonetheless, if you have a lawn, you have to water it. That's one of the reasons why my water cost goes up significantly from like May through September. Okay, so you're gonna have higher water costs. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people from the east want to move out here and look for bigger lots, and it doesn't always make sense to do that. But
So
what
real
about
quick,
you? Oh,
real quick, what size house do you live
yeah.
in,
So
and how that reflects?
So this house is a two-story with a basement, and it's 3,000 square feet. So pretty good size home. Not super efficient because it's got the second story. All that heat goes up. And then there's 3 of us living here, so myself and then my 2 daughters. So that's kind of what you could expect, with a family situation in a larger house. And then how about you?
So my house is a little bit different. It is a 1,025 square feet. We're in the downtown area. Much smaller house, single level rancher, no basement. So it's a small house, and it's just my wife and I and our dog. And averaged out over 12 months, we pay roughly $180 a month. And that's with what Jacob was saying, electric, gas, water, and wastewater. 2 different households, 2 different sizes, 2 different family setups, and 2 completely different costs in average utilities. Now, on the next note, we did not mention some of the other costs, like internet. So internet here, averaged out, we pay $64 a month across the board, and that's with a company out here, CenturyLink. Another fun fact, on my way over here this morning, I stopped to get gas, and I was like, you know what? That's gonna go into our cost of living video. So today is February 26th, and on the way over here, I paid $2.29 a gallon for gas. That's gonna fluctuate all over the place depending on the time of year and where you're located. But since we're doing cost of living, I thought it applied. So $2.29 a gallon today, February 26th.
Perfect. So one more thing to add on to utilities is going to be trash. A lot of places the trash system is run through the local government. Here it's not. It's all independent companies that do it. And you can expect for trash and recycling, you can expect to pay around $70, $75 every quarter. That's how they break it down. So roughly, between around $25 a month for your trash and recycling service. So just keep that in mind. When you get here, you will have to call around, find a trash service provider, call them, check them out, price check, and see if you can get the lowest rate. Okay, so another big cost that you may or may not have to deal with is going to be childcare. So we were doing a little research online. I was able to find a website that was, I think, published. The article was published at the end of 2020, and it was saying that on average for infant childcare, you could expect to pay roughly $1,277 a month, right? And then for toddler childcare, you could expect to pay just over $1,000 a month. So obviously that's going to be very dependent on where you're located in the city, what type of child care provider you're going to look into. Another thing that you really want to consider is with COVID, I know a lot of folks that I'm friends with have had issues with childcare. So if you're planning on moving out here, but maybe it's not going to happen for 6 months or 9 months or even a year, I would start reaching out to these childcare providers now, getting your name on some lists so that they are reaching out to you when openings come available. The last thing you want to do is move out here and forget to do that and be in a pinch when it comes to childcare. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about taxes. We hate them. Everyone hates them. Doesn't matter where you live in the country. You know, it's a pain to see that tax bill every time, even if it's on a receipt when you're buying a new TV or whatever that is at the store. But so Colorado is a flat tax state. So the earned income tax is 4.55%. So across the board, the whole state of Colorado, you can expect to pay 4.55% for your earned income taxes. Okay, when it comes to sales tax, it's a little bit different. When you combined like El Paso County, Colorado Springs, and then Colorado as a whole, that sales tax comes out to 8.2%. And then when we're talking about real estate taxes, one of the nice features about Colorado, and we hear this all the time because we get people moving here from New Jersey and Chicago, like Illinois, and they're experiencing these crazy real estate taxes, right? These wild property taxes. And here we just don't have that. I was looking on a website earlier today, and it ranked Colorado as having the third lowest property tax in the entire nation. So that's incredible, right? The real estate is a little more expensive. The property taxes are not. And that's a huge draw for people, especially folks that are coming from those more expensive areas or folks that are maybe planning to retire out here and cut some of their expenses long term.
All right. Now, a lot of people ask about the marijuana industry out here. If you're coming out to, if you're just going to buy marijuana at all, you're probably going to pay twice that amount with all the extra marijuana tax and fees and all the regulations that they have with that. It's something that catches people off guard, but I don't think it slows them down at all because they're just happy to purchase the stuff that makes them happy. But let's go into what it costs to go out and enjoy a night on the town or a date night or just taking your kids out to have a good time. People can come out here. It's a big brewery town, and if you go to a microbrewery, you can expect to pay $5 or $6 for a pint of your favorite beer. But if you go out to kind of a nicer bar, to get a cocktail, depending on what you get, you might be pushing that $10 mark to get a specialty cocktail. If you're just doing a basic drink, it's probably going to be $1 or $2 more than the brewers cost, $5 or $6, maybe pushing $6 or $7. But we get asked all the time, caught me off guard a little bit, was what's it cost to go out to eat there? And it really depends. Like you can go to a fast food joint, I think you're going to pay what people pay across the board. But if you go out to a nice local restaurant on a date night, let's say, we're looking at like a $70 to $100 date night, depending on who you are and what you like. But if we're talking, an appetizer, 2 entrees, and a couple cocktails, that at a nice local restaurant, you're looking at pushing, $75 and up dollars for that date night. And then if you have many cocktails, like we all tend to do sometimes, it's going to go up from there.
We went to Mod Pizza, which I don't know if Mod Pizza is great for us because it's super affordable and the pizzas are phenomenal there. Or if you don't eat pizza, they have really great salads. And I think the three of us, we got 3 pizzas, and my girls each got a drink. I just had water, and I think I spent like with the tip, it was like $33. So super affordable for the family. Um, Clay's going on all kinds of date nights, and I'm just taking my girls to low cost food places. But now I did take them to a really nice restaurant recently. We overspent for it, but it was an incredible experience. One of the nice things about Colorado is that restaurant industry is growing. So I wouldn't say that it's great. At least I don't have the experience to say that, but most people that are coming from outside the area say that it's not great, but it's absolutely improving day by day. We've got some wonderful restaurants like coming online.
With both chain restaurant and locally owned restaurant, and I just really love going.
Where's your favorite place, Clay?
Are you wanting me to say Texas Roadhouse? Yeah. He's giving me a joke right now. He's making fun of me. We tend to go to Texas Roadhouse quite a bit, and I think it's because we get invited to go there a lot, if not initiated by us. But let's be real, downtown there are some great places to eat. And I tell you what, if you give us a call and when you come out and visit, we are going to make a number of recommendations for you guys to go get breakfast, lunch, dinner, beers, and cocktails.
Yeah.
But
he likes his rolls buttered.
I do. I can't lie. I really do.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of our overview on what it costs to live in Colorado Springs. Unfortunately, like, you can't go to like one website and find out all these costs. So it takes a little bit of work on our part, and a lot of it's not 100% accurate, but we're trying our best to give you as much information as we can so that you can make an informed decision on whether or not it makes sense financially for you to relocate out here.
And if you have a special circumstance, a situation that you want to talk in more detail about, whether it be a specific job or maybe Social Security, whatever it may be, give us a call, shoot us an email, and we'll go in more detail and peel back the layers to see how that applies to you and your unique situation.
Yeah, so be sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the notifications bell so you're notified whenever we drop a new video. As always, reach out to us with any and all questions you might have. We're more than happy to work with you. All right?
Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.